Hi and welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses. Today we are a bit more on the live part of that as we continue our discussions about things we can learn from our horse. So today's one is all about self-talk, how we talk to ourselves, our internal dialogue. And so it's not so directly something the horse teaches us. It's really more of a way to practice. So recently we did a video about visualization, and in that we talked about how our mind doesn't know when things are really happening or that we're just making it up. Hence the reason we have panic attacks when nothing is going on. So how about the other side of that? If our mind believes us, how about that our horse believes us? So that is the practice, because we might be sabotaging ourselves and maybe allow that to happen and keep doing that. And it can be difficult to break the pattern. Of course, the first thing is the awareness that we're doing it. But I think when we realize that we're doing it to our horse, it makes it easier to have that commitment and determination to change it. So, for example, if I'm working with my horse, we've just been riding, haven't we, Biscuit? We've been having great fun in this gorgeous Scottish weather. So if I'm riding and it's not going well, or whatever I'm doing with my horse, and I'm thinking, oh God, oh, this is no good, oh, I'm so useless, oh, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 and all this negative self-talk. Right, so whether that's true or not, I'm going to believe myself and it's going to make me worse. But then my horse is believing me and I might as well be putting that negativity straight onto him, because he just feels the negativity. And if I said, Biscuit, if I said, Biscuit, get back. If I said to a person that, and they might say, oh, well, they might encourage me, they might question me, they might say, is that really true? Is that a good thing that you notice and you can change it? Or they might just say, that's not true, what are you talking about, blah, blah, blah. But of course, when we do it to the horse, they don't have that awareness to do that, do they? They don't have those thought ways in their mind. So it's like I'm putting the negativity on him. I might as well be beating him up and telling him he's useless and no good. The other side, or the other thing of that, is about fear and nervousness. So when our horse is nervous or afraid or gets spooky, or we're out and we feel them getting tense or anxious in whatever situation, and we are also anxious, and even if the horse wasn't anxious to start with, if we get anxious, they're going to believe us, even if nothing is going on, even if there's actually nothing to really be afraid of. They're going to believe that anxiety. The same as in our body, we could build up such an anxiety that we could really go into a big panic when actually we're quite safe. So the same with the horse, when we do that to them and we build that up and make them anxious, then, that's really not helpful at all, is it? So knowing that that's happening, I think, is a great pattern interrupt, and think, oh my God, what am I doing to my horse? I can change this and help my horse. So either that we don't make them nervous when they're not, or that when they are nervous and afraid, and we rise up in that as well, that of course it just makes them think, oh my God, there really is something to be afraid of. My human's scared as well, so we need to give them a safe place to be. So for me, the best solution as an interrupt for all of that is first that we notice what we're doing. We notice this pattern of self-sabotage, and then we can do something about it, can't we? And for me, the easiest tool with that is just a big long breath. Wiggle the toes, feel the ground, and make a sound. Move, breathe, make a sound. So we just move our body, wiggle our toes, have a little shake or something, and You know, open the mouth, release the jaw, because all the tension we tend to hold there. And that can just shift things so quickly for ourselves and for our horse. So it's really to notice the power of those words. So I'm a big fan of the Four Agreements, which is ancient Toltec wisdom from Don Miguel Ruiz. And, well, it's his writings about the ancient wisdom. And the first agreement is be impeccable with your word, which starts with yourself. So that's what we're talking about, isn't it? How those words that we say to ourselves have enormous power. And are they true? Are they impeccable? You know, is that really the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So, you know, it's such an important thing, these words. The Toltec wisdom, they say the word is magic. You know, we are the only species that has that spoken language of words. And it has immense power. You know, think when, for example, somebody says a kind word to you or a compliment or is grateful to you, how that gives you such a lift instantly and how good it makes you feel, how powerful those words are. And on the other side, when we're not impeccable with our word and we say truths and untruths, then they call that black magic. So how about the thought that when we are doing all this negative stuff and it's affecting our horse, it's like black magic. I love that idea. For me, that's a really helpful thing. And it really, you know, keeps in check because it's so powerful, especially those dark black magic. You know, if you have comments on something and you might have 20 good comments and one bad one, and which is the one we focus on? You know, how powerful can those words be, even when we know that's not true? So I think it's a great way to practice being aware of our self-talk and noticing it and questioning it. You know, it's really about getting curious, isn't it? So that when we notice that, we're like, oh, we can be curious and say, is that really true? Is that really true, Biscuit? He's like, oh, I don't know, I want to go back to my field. So anyway, I hope that's helpful to you and I hope it makes sense. It's to me, that's very clear, but it might be something a bit unusual if you haven't thought about that before. But if you do have any questions on it, I'd be glad to have a little chat about it. So feel free to get in touch with me. And in the meantime, just give it a shot, you know. Can we practice being aware and changing unhelpful self-talk or internal dialogue for the sake of our horse, if we can't do it for the sake of ourselves, because it has a massive effect on our horses, you know. I had an old pony who the therapist used to say he has a sore head and that's why he's so intolerant. And if you were very busy and negative and stressed in your head, he would hate it so much. He would physically do something. You know, I've seen him nudge people, I'd seen him kick, and he did that very softly. He would just walk, reverse up and just lift his back leg up and just go, dunk. Not enough to hurt someone, but just enough to say, hey, stop. And of course it worked. He was an absolute master at that. And that for me was absolute proof of what I knew, that what's going on in our head has a massive effect on our horse, as it does on our own being. So can we change that? That's that thing going off. It's a scarecrow thing. It goes bang over there, and they've kind of got used to it now. Anyway, that is our offering for the day. Thank you for joining us in beautiful sunny Scotland. I will look forward to see you next time, and in the meantime, keep on tuning into the light.